more. There's been some more updates on heroes and whatnot. But today I'm going to go over one in particular who I have not covered yet. His name is Abathur. Something that you need to realize when you're playing Abathur is even though you may or may not know how to build him, you still need to know how to play him the right way, because he's not like other heroes where if you have the right talent build, you're gonna be okay. But in this video, I'm not only going to go over the talent build, I'm also going to go over the certain tips and tricks that go into playing Abathur, so that way you can fully understand how to use his strengths to your advantage. First thing I want to go over is in the very beginning of the match, before the gate even drops, I immediately put down my 3 mines inside a bush in the middle lane, because that's where more than likely the enemy team is going to be looking or setting up a gank first. And if you put your mines there, as soon as the gate drops, then your mines are going to be set up before anyone even gets there. I mean, for example, look, as soon as I set my 3 mines before I tunnel down to the bottom lane, Zagara walks into the bush, gets hit by 2 of them, and my team already has vision on her. And before she can run away, my team is already jumping on her and almost got her if it wasn't for the Tassadar. But as you can see, it's a really effective way of avoiding your team getting ganked or getting a better gank on the other team. And going in further, I also am going with the host build. Many of you may know that as just a hat build, but I find it way more effective than going a locust build, because locust build you can only do one thing, and that's just push, because then you're not really getting a whole lot of value out of adding your teammates when they're in a team fight. So you can't really help contribute to that as much. All you can do is contribute to XP and siege damage, and that's all you can get. But the nice thing is with the hat build, I can actually contribute to both the team fight and I can also push lanes with the hat build as well. But the first real key trick to Abathur is you need to be constantly aware of where you are on the map and where the objective is. Because for example, I'm in the bottom lane for now, but as soon as I see that the objective is starting in the bottom lane, I see that as an opportunity to go to the top lane and just start using my trait to spawn locusts as close to the enemy gate as possible. I take advantage of the fact that because the objective is the bottom lane, more than likely not, none of the enemy heroes are going to be even close to the top lane, so I can just keep pushing and have a good old time. But also at the same time, I can be hatting my fellow teammates when they're on the objective, so I can also contribute there as well. It's a huge advantage that Abathur has. Another thing I like to point out is that when I am in a lane by myself or I'm in aggressive positioning, even though the enemy team may be far away, I like to set up my mines accordingly so I have proper vision ahead of time. Because most of the time, Abathur players will just put the mines directly on them, and that doesn't do a whole lot of good, because your mines aren't going to kill someone when they come straight in. They're still going to have enough time to kill you. And as I said before, you really need to be just keeping one eye on the minimap at all times. You can't let anything on the minimap go unnoticed. Minion waves, mercenaries, you have to be aware of everything that's going on. I mean, for example, you can see Zagara was pushing way too deep. My team notices that. I hat Illidan immediately and we're able to take her out before their team could even try to save her. Another great thing is Abathur is you can help somebody like Illidan or Thrall to help take a mercenary camp. This one gets a little sketchy because the enemy team, just before we take the camp, they come in there, but luckily my team has me hatting them, and this is where the hat really takes advantage of things, because it really just, people don't notice how much damage Abathur's hat can really do, and that just leads to almost a team wipe right there. Yeah, sure, they got 2 kills, but we got 4 kills and a mercenary camp, so we came out on top in that fight. And then after the fight, it only gets better for me because I can just stay in the bottom lane because the objective starts in the top lane. So I just tell my 2 allies that are trying to take down this fort before the objective starts, I'm like, hey guys, I can take this out easily. Just go up top. By the time you get there, this fort will already be down. But one of the main things I've noticed when I'm watching Abathur players is when they don't pick the right ultimate. A lot of times I've seen Abathur players pick Monstrosity, and in my opinion, it's a very, very bad ult. I mean, all you can do with it is you transform a minion into a monstrosity, but then you have to spend at least half your time babysitting it, or else the enemy team will just kill it off. It doesn't give you a whole lot of extra push in a lane, and it takes away time from hatting your teammates, hatting other lanes, watching out for mercenary camps, putting mines down. I mean, it really just builds up over time. But the biggest factor is the fact that it has a 100-second cooldown that doesn't start until after the monstrosity is dead. I mean, if the cooldown started before, like as soon as you triggered the ult, then maybe it could be viable, but in my opinion, it just is really bad ultimate. The other one that I go with is incredible. It's called Ultimate Evolution. Basically, you target an ally and you make a clone of them. But here's the upside to that. The clone has 20% basic attack damage and 20% extra ability damage, so you can just nuke down enemies a lot faster than than the person you cloned. But also the fact that it's more like, instead of like a 5v5, it turns into more like a 5 against 5.5 or 5 versus 6. Like the amount of damage you can output if you pick the right character is ridiculous. Another great thing about the Ultimate Evolution is it has a very low cooldown. I mean, you can just see that before I could use my ultimate 2 times before the objective is even taken, just because how low the cooldown is. One of the last things I want to point out before I conclude this video is never ever underestimate how much pushing ability an Abathur has, and how you can just I mean, for example, if you look, I'm pushing both the bottom and the middle at the same time. Yes, I have 2 mercenary camps helping me, but in a matter of minutes, I help those mercenary camps push down a keep, and I also take out a fort at the same time. But to make the matters even worse, my team also captures the objective and gets the Punisher out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm glad you took the time out of your day to watch it and gain some tips how to play Abathur a little bit better. Please like the video, and if you want to see more, just subscribe to our channel. And with that, I will leave you, and I hope to see you all in the Nexus.